Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Or whatever time you're listening.
And you're listening to...
Listen very carefully. The podcast for people who love all things Allo Allo.
So, let's begin.
I'm Kim Hartman, and I played the part of Helga.
I'm Guy Siner, and I played Lieutenant Gruber.
And I am Richard Gibson, and I played Herr Flick.
This is Series 2, Episode 20, and it is entitled Landmines for London. Oh.
Ow.
You're both so pathetic.
What were we going to talk about?
I can't remember, but we were talking just now about, there was something we were going to talk about. I can't remember what it was.
And we haven't even started on the Prosecco yet, and we can't remember
I
things.
have.
I've started on Prosecco, and I intend to
Well, good
continue.
help.
And dear listeners,
Welcome, peasants.
beloved peasants, can I just let you know that Richard Gibson, Herr Flick, has to drink his Prosecco out of a plastic glass because he keeps breaking normal ones.
Yeah.
Kim is bereft of glasses. The house used to be bristling with glasses. Richard has broken them all.
They were threatening to get me one of those beakers with a little
A sippy
cup.
a sippy
sippy
cup
cup.
with Postman Pat on the front, because I can't be trusted with glass.
And it would be only too appropriate.
But that was before I'd drunk it, not after.
But in fact, you talking about you couldn't be trusted with glass. Do you remember that time at that party many years ago?
In Carmen's house.
Yes, and she was having a little after-show get-together or something, and we all went over. She lived in Earl's Court, Baron's Court.
Baron's Court.
Yes.
And we all went over.
No, she lived in Edith Grove. I've only just remembered.
Which is
Did
Baron's
she?
Court.
Which
isn't
is,
it?
I
It never
suppose it's
occurred to me
Baron's
the
Court, I'm
irony
not-
that she lived in Edith Grove and
Yes.
she played Edith.
Well. And anyway, the party, it was all very jolly, and it was getting to the end, wasn't it? Lots of people had gone, and there were just a few of us sort of sitting round on the floor, it seemed. We were sitting in a big circle and chatting and things. And you you went to sit down, and your wine glass was on the floor already. You went to kneel down, and you put one of your knees straight on top of your wine glass and knelt on it, and it broke, didn't it, and cut you. And you jumped up
burst with blood.
And I was next
In
to
white
you.
trousers.
In white trousers. And I grabbed your trousers and pulled them down to sort of get any glass.
Any excuse.
As you do.
And David Croft, apparently, which I found out later from somebody else, said, "Oh my word, she's pulling his trousers down now."
Oh God! And they cut through all the nerves. I had to have stitches, and in the sewing up process, the nerves got tangled up. So when I touched the right side of my knee, it felt like the left side of my knee.
Oh, that's really funny. That's like sort of the hokey cokey or something, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
But apparently
brilliant.
that does
Strange.
happen.
I've never
It's like
heard of
cross-wired. So if I close my eyes and I touch the right side of my knee, it felt like I was touching the left
Left
But
side.
this is
side
no
of your
longer
knee.
the case.
No, it's settled down.
It's settled
now.
itself. Yeah.
But the scar is
How
still
interesting. I never would have thought of that.
there. No.
It takes a couple of
And it
years,
was-
doesn't it, too, for nerve damage to recover.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Really
it
long
was a peasants. It was a very dramatic moment.
But
was.
the trousers I washed in cold water, and all the blood went.
Did it?
Yeah.
And they weren't cut or anything by the glass?
Don't think so. No, because you pulled them down, didn't you?
Well,
you pulled my trousers.
But how
Yeah,
could
but you
how-
knelt on the glass
How
first,
could your
hadn't
knee
you?
have been so badly cut when the trousers weren't?
Because they probably had a little gash in them, which I stitched up later.
So the trousers were cut.
No, but they were wearable.
They were
Well,
wearable,
yeah.
but cut. Yes.
Make do and mend.
Yes.
Make do and mend. We after all, we were in a war.
That's right. And it
Make
was the
do and
80s,
mend.
so that was why I was wearing white trousers.
Oh, yes, of course. And everything had. Jeans were all slashed in those days, weren't they?
I
Sort of-
suppose they were.
Thought they were all
Bros.
slashed now.
Yes.
I was a brosette or whatever.
Yes.
And yeah,
Brosette.
had slashes in my jeans with sort of pretty flowers. It was sort of you could buy jeans already slashed, which you can now,
Yes.
and really pretty sort of flowery fabric behind.
That's right.
Yeah. Happy
There you
days.
go.
Yes, that was the 80s.
Yeah.
And that was the 80s. We talked about this yesterday, didn't we? When we were all in a jacuzzi with Curiosity Killed the Cat and the House Martins at the MTV Awards.
And
Did
it was
we
a
talk
bit,
about that?
yeah, it was a bit, when you look back on it, I mean,
Unhygienic.
how many people were in that jacuzzi? I mean, like 20?
Ew, 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 ew.
But at least it was like famous athlete's foot.
Well,
Or athletes, anything else.
I think any
I
famous or not.
think we should be talking about landmines for London. don't
Yes,
you?
we should, and it was a very good episode, I thought.
It was a lovely episode.
An absolutely cracking episode with so much action again and so many storylines. It's lovely that we've got back to there being quite a few different stories with
Yes.
different characters going on.
Yes.
And threads following through from episode to episode. You know,
Yeah.
we've had the M6 mine now for about 4 episodes, and
Yeah.
different people cramming themselves into a landmine to be dropped in various places.
Yes. Yeah.
This week, the landmines which were going to contain the airmen didn't contain the airmen at all anymore. They seemed to be in a barrel. And you were in the
And von
landmine.
Smallhausen.
You and von Smallhausen were in the landmines, hoping to capture the French resistance when the landmines were taken to their headquarters.
That's right.
Yes. So you actually went down and climbed into the landmines, didn't you? With
And,
Von's-
and screwed yourself in.
Much quicker than the airmen.
The black
By hand.
leather gloves came out and
Yeah.
Didn't need a spanner.
screwed
Von-
your nuts. You screwed your nuts.
Screwed me nuts.
Yes.
But I don't remember anything about that. And
Don't you?
there was a bit when we were in the plane. They were in the plane. The German airmen
Oh,
who
they
were
were funny.
singing songs against Hitler.
We're
and all that.
already at the end of the
For
episode. of course.
Listeners who haven't seen this episode, there's a bit, for convoluted reasons, where you see these 2 German airmen and they're flying and they're singing irreverent songs about Hitler, and Herr Flick and von Smallhausen appear at the window in midair.
Outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have just congratulated themselves, haven't they? Saying, "Isn't it wonderful? We're here. We can say what we like. We can
Because
do
we're
what we
free
like.
of the Gestapo.
We're free of the Gestapo. There's
Then-
nobody spying on us."
And then out comes Flick,
Yes.
peering in the window.
But I don't remember anything about it, and I don't remember watching this episode or playing those scenes. It's like
You
watching
must have
someone
had
else.
such fun shooting that, and you still don't, and you don't remember it. It's extraordinary, because there were these 2 airmen flying their bomber, and you appearing windswept outside the airplane.
How can you tell when the Gestapo is windswept?
Well, you were outside the plane, and it was flying along.
You did sort of look like a pair of sort of cats clinging onto the
Yes.
roof of the car, didn't you?
Panicking.
and how you had managed to get out of your bombs and outside the aircraft is not explained.
Well, because the airmen were supposed to hang underneath the plane, weren't they?
Yes. They
So
were
I
supposed
don't
to
know why
hang
we
underneath
did.
the plane.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
not sure
You
how.
didn't know that you were going to be taken off on a plane. You were hiding in there to catch the resistance.
That's right.
In their lair.
Who were going to come into
Yes.
But how did we, as Guy was asking, how did we get out of the mines and then end up hanging on the outside
You
of the plane?
unscrewed your nuts, which you were rather
Oh, were
good
the
at.
mines hanging underneath the plane?
Yes,
Mines
the
were
mines were
hanging
hanging under the plane.
See,
Yeah.
yes.
They were too big to be in the bomb bay, so they were hanging underneath. I think
Right.
that
in
was explained.
Bombay.
Bombay?
I think that was explained earlier in another episode that the mines were
Yes.
going to be underneath the plane.
But when I was watching that, I was imagining the airmen hanging on underneath. I didn't realise that they were... Oh, so they unscrew themselves and get out.
Yes, it was the
under
mines
the
hanging
plane
underneath.
They
and
would have
then-
done.
And then release their parachutes.
Yes, that was the plan. But of course, they had been taken out of the M6 bombs
Put into barrels,
and put
beer
into
barrels.
To go to the brewery. Or to
And
the-
they were then rolled down that flight of steps, weren't they? Like, coming from inside the
to
barrels.
give to the
as they
Germans,
were-
yes.
Yeah.
As
To the
beer.
sergeant's mess. It's a present for the sergeant's mess.
A sort of Trojan airman thing.
I love I loved the German guard at the gate, which would have been Trevor T. Smith, but wasn't. It was somebody else. But saying, give me the password, otherwise you're not going through. And actually, this is beer for the sergeant's mess. Oh, welcome, friend.
Friends.
And opening the gate, no longer requiring a password at all.
Yes.
This October, we will be appearing live in our Listen Very Carefully stage show.
in Guildford,
Salford,
and Shrewsbury.
For booking details, go to fane.co.uk.
that's F for Fanny,
A for Alphonse.
N for Nouvion.
and E for Engelbert.
There was a funny little moment that was completely apropos nothing. But do you remember when Edith had the Christmas pudding, which Renee had handed to her, which was on already setting light?
Yes.
She'd
And
held it
Ren-
near a candle or something, hadn't she?
No, whatever reason it was.
It had become lit anyway.
But the fuse was lit.
Yeah.
And Rennie went to get the soda siphon to put it out. And when he first did it, he went to press the button, the soda siphon was facing the wrong way. And he very, very nearly squirted himself in the face. And at the very last second, he spun it round and squirted it.
Oh, how funny. No, I didn't
Edith.
notice that.
But it would have been funny if he'd squirted
Would
himself
it?
in the face.
It would. Yes.
That would have been a nice goof take.
I was going to say, I bet he never thought of that.
Well,
Otherwise,
in-
he would have done
In
it.
the moment, yeah.
But he wouldn't.
Would you?
He wouldn't, because it would have messed up his makeup. It would have messed up his. He wouldn't
His
do it as a
costume,
gag.
everything. Yeah, and he had a nightgown with a big R embroidered on it, didn't he?
Sheena Napier again. I did love, my favourite line, I think, of the whole thing that sums it all up was when Michelle of the Resistance was obliging Renee to do things. He went, "Why is it always me?" And you think, yeah, why is it always him? It
And
really
the
is.
answer is because that's what the series is about.
Yes, that's right.
It's about it always being you,
Yes.
the hero of the Resistance.
Well, he is the everyman character, isn't he?
Absolutely.
And the airmen are completely valueless. They're totally and utterly useless. But in Secret Army, of which this is a parody, it was different airmen each week, and they were quite heroic.
Of course.
And they were worthwhile. But these are totally useless. Every week they find another way to get rid of the airmen. You think,
But
But there are-
everyone is so inefficient. That's what's so wonderful. The Resistance are so inefficient.
Yes.
And Rennie and all his
Yes.
things always goes wrong. The Germans are inefficient. Everybody.
And I love how it's sort of accepted somehow. You know, oh, another cock up. Oh well.
Yes, onwards and upwards.
Yes, onwards and alongwards. And but the airmen, not only are they completely useless, but they're really rather unwilling to be escaped. You know, I remember, for instance, some very brave Frenchmen had risked their lives to get them a rowboat that they could row across the channel. I'm not getting in that. It's got a dead crab in it.
but it takes. The
Oh well, let's go home. Never mind. Let's start again.
It takes the edge off the war thing, because
Of course it
everybody is completely incompetent,
Of course.
except Michelle of the Michelle of the
Mm,
that's
mm,
nothing to do.
mm,
It's
Resistance
nothing to do with that.
Cheers,
does her
cheers.
best.
She does her best, but she is still inefficient. I mean, everyone does their best.
Yes.
Nobody's trying to be inefficient.
That's right.
That's what's what's
Yeah,
very
she-
funny about it. That everyone is trying to do their best in the circumstances.
She does her best, but she comes up with these completely madcap schemes which could never work.
Yeah, and then her resistance girl, like last week, there was the sniper. Yeah, we have a sniper on the who completely
Who couldn't
missed.
shoot.
Yes.
Oh, well, I've got my sharpshooter up on the roof. Oh dear, she missed.
But that's the charm of it, really. It's small town
course,
life.
of course.
And they don't make any difference to the war at all. And Herr Flick and von Smallhausen are not exactly top senior officials, are they?
No, you're highly inefficient.
Yes.
Probably the
And
two
stupid. I think Helga is probably the most intelligent person in it.
Yes, but she's
But
not
she's
really looking at
useless.
the bigger picture, is she? She's just trying to feather her own nest
Yes.
for once the war finishes.
Yes.
Which everybody more or less is.
That's true.
But she's not thick, Helga. Whereas Herr Flick is thick.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. He's thick.
He is. He's thick.
Yes.
He's thick.
Actually, Gruber's quite intelligent, I think.
Yes, I think he probably is. I mean, after all, be fair, he snaffles Helga at the end.
Oh, well, so it would appear. I quite like, we have a bit of a sort of competitive relationship, I notice,
do.
in the Colonel's office.
Yes.
That we're obviously vying a bit for the Colonel's attention.
It's interesting. I don't know, about 2 or 3 episodes again, we mentioned this, and now I always think of it when we have a scene, when there is a scene in which we appear together. I think about the frisson that that must be developing between us, because in the end, we
In the
fall in
end.
love and get married.
Yes.
And have 6 children.
Yeah. But I was also wondering if it went as far as falling in love or whether it was just expedient.
Oh, well, I bow to your superior knowledge on that.
Well,
looking forward to seeing this.
Helga being very ambitious throughout. I mean, I do think that Helga, if she could, she had probably set her sights on getting Hitler eventually, but she'd only got as far as Herr Flick so
Yes.
far. But I think she was clawing her way up the pile, and
really?
I think you would have been a rather appealing prospect.
Well, especially as he becomes obviously like a millionaire after the war with
Art dealer.
art expert and
Yeah.
art
Oh,
dealer.
definitely art.
And so
Yeah.
then she thinks, oh, hello.
Yeah,
Yes, well, all right.
and I could be your cover, couldn't I?
My cover.
Your beard.
If you were gay.
Oh, I see.
I think they call it a beard.
Yeah.
I know. I think he swung both ways.
Yeah,
I think he likes Helga a lot because
He must have
they
done,
do
'cause he
after
had
all
all-
have 7 children.
All those babies.
Yeah.
Now, I want to go back to one of my favourite scenes ever, which was in the church tower after the bell has fallen on top of
Oh, that was this
Smallhausen.
episode, wasn't it?
It was.
And I can remember it quite clearly because I remember thinking how funny it was at the time that Helga tried to get a ham sandwich under this this sort of 25-ton bell. And why would he need a ham sandwich particularly? I mean, why did we offer him a sandwich? He'd only been under the bell for an hour.
And why offer him a sandwich before then immediately lifting the bell to
Yes.
rescue him?
It wasn't much logic to it.
What
was
I
there?
loved best was, and I pointed out before either of you had seen it, was the little hand that was stuck under the bell.
Fingers.
And you said, Herr Flick said, oh look, there's a hand under there, stamp on it and see if he reacts.
And she did, with no hesitation. But yes, it was ridiculous because they pulled the bell up and there he was.
there
They
he
could have done
was.
it all along.
But he'd been squished.
He'd been squished and was no longer tall enough to be in the Gestapo, and so you wanted his resignation letter in the morning.
Yes.
Poor von Smallhausen, he had such a bad time.
But we did offer him some mustard.
Yeah, but he didn't want it.
Holds the mustard.
Yes. Was he practically, was this stage built up such that half his body could be underneath
Yes.
the
It
floor?
wasn't a stage, it was a genuine bell tower.
Yes, but
No, I think they built a
I think they must have built a plinth because half his body was missing.
I think he was just kneeling
He
down.
really
and
had
they
been
had that.
squished. Oh, you think it was just
No,
kneeling?
he was just kneeling down.
Okay. Yes, because of course they were in
remember
the
that,
monks'
actually.
habits,
The
so
robe.
it covered everything. Yeah. But he
Yes.
looked like he'd been squished.
Yes.
He really did.
Now you are less than 5'3", you are no longer eligible for the Gestapo.
I love it, and I want your resignation letter on my desk in the morning.
That's right.
That's wonderful. Poor von Smallhausen.
Do you remember when Monsieur Leclerc and René came into where all the barrels were, and Jack Haig did his signature sneeze? That was in his hat. But when he sneezed, their hats came off, and he ended up with René's hat on,
Yes.
and René had... Now, there must have been some cooperation between them, because you know how they didn't always get along.
No.
Whether the director, whether it was in the script, or the director said, here's a good gag, or whether he and Gordon had come to terms
Had hatched
in
it
some
up.
way.
Yes.
And they said, this will be a funny little gag to do.
Yes. There was. I'm talking about the director. We have a new director in this episode, and for the next 6 or 7, I think, which is Richard Bowden.
Richard Bowden. Hello, Richard.
Yes.
If you're listening or watching.
It's only about... I'm so not going to edit that out. That is so staying in.
Snip, please.
No, that's staying in. Would you like to inhale some of my...
No, you can sniff.
There was a lovely scene in grandmother's bedroom
Was there?
when Edith brought her up her lunch, and she said, "What is it? Prune and onion soup."
As soon as she said prune, you knew what you were in for.
Yeah. and then she said, and what's for afters? And Edith said, don't even think about it.
What comes after or something?
Jeremy Lloyd.
Because they used to do a lot of onion soup jokes, didn't they?
They
did.
Yeah.
Blowing the cupboard doors off and stuff
Yes.
like that.
And we had more food posting.
We had what?
More food posting, because not only had Helga posted or tried to post a sandwich onto the bell, but then she took the ham out, which did get whipped onto the bell. But later on in this episode, Yvette posted sausages.
Through the holes in the barrel.
Yes, supposedly for the airmen.
I think Richard Bowden, our director, told them just to hesitate before they pulled it in, just to let it stick out, because it did look a bit rude several times. And he must have said, don't be in too much of a hurry to pull the sausage in. Just let it dangle for a bit.
And the airman saying, "Oh no, not sausages again. This is a third day running." Well, it's a hole. It's the only thing that will go through.
Yes. When we were doing the stage show in London, you used to hop into your car and beetle off to the Cotswolds, didn't you?
I did.
Every day after the show.
Yeah.
Whereas normal people, except on recording days, no, that's different. That was the telly.
That was the telly. When we were at the Palladium, I used to actually get a train
Yes.
from Euston to Coventry, and then I would drive quite a long way from Coventry, because I live a long way from Coventry, but it was a very fast train, and they went on till quite early in the morning. So if I wanted to stay for any reason in London, I could stay and then still get home, because the kids were still quite small, and I wanted them to.
Because I was
see
going
me
to
a
say
bit.
normal people would find somewhere to stay in London, but of course you had kids, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you, after the show, battling off to be back
Battling
with
off,
them.
except on matinee days when I would stay down. But I did have my lovely friend Alma and her beautiful studio. She was an artist, and I used to stay, a sculptress, and I used to stay in her studio.
That's right.
So yeah, it was pretty good. It worked out quite well.
Yes.
Good balance.
And did you then have to get them up for school and be a sort of normal mother?
Yeah, I tried to. Well, I wanted to. It wasn't sort of a question of had to. It was just I wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Wanted to see them, and so yeah, I'd send them off to school.
So to all intents and purposes, they had a sort of regular life. It's just that in the evenings, Mummy didn't come home till late. Was it that?
Yeah, that was the plan. I mean, I think looking back on it, it wasn't that regular. And of course, they got a lot of stick at school once we were on the telly. You know, A for a start, because my my working name is Kim Hartman, but I'm Mrs. Nolan.
Yeah.
And so there were kids at school who would
You're
go,
a
your
bastard.
parents aren't married.
You're a bastard.
But so, of course, kids, I think when you're a parent, there's always things that kids have to go through which you are unaware of. And I think there were quite a lot of things I've heard later that, they had to put up with because
The suspenders and stockings wouldn't have helped, would they?
No.
Well, if I'm allowed to say so, as the only one of the three of us who has not had children, I think both of you have done sterling jobs, because you have between you 4 glorious, successful, wonderful children.
Oh, thank you, Guy. That's
and
very
and
nice.
I, after the show had finished, all I had to do was walk across Green Park to Belgravia, where my house was, my
That's
little
right.
Muse house.
Oh, that must have been heavenly. That must have been wonderful. To
Heavenly.
But your
Strolling
cat,
in.
don't forget. You
Yes.
had a cat.
Norman, bless him.
Norman.
A fond memory. Dear Norman, who used to sit outside on the windowsill of my little Muse house. In the mornings, he always went out at about sort of 7 o'clock in the morning, and then all the people would walk out of the Muse going to work. And
Yeah.
he would, meow, 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 and then to everybody who walked past.
Oh.
And they all mentioned it. I never, ever pass Norman in the morning, but he says good morning to me. Ever.
How funny.
Bless his little heart.
Why do cats do that? Why do they... Sometimes cats will wrap themselves around complete strangers' legs.
Yes.
Sometimes they'll come out, they're sitting on the gatepost and they'll hop down and they'll sort of wind themselves around.
Yeah,
You think,
yeah.
And other times,
Why not?
they just stick their hair up on the back of their necks and hiss.
that's right. And sometimes if it's your own cat, they'll ignore you.
Yes. Yeah. or go, "What are you doing?
Yes.
Don't touch me."
Yes.
Yeah.
I've always, whenever I walked through Green Park, I was, especially in the winter evenings, when it was cold, and I always used to think about the wonderful story of Churchill's, when he was Prime Minister during the war, private secretary going to the Prime Minister. I'm terribly sorry to tell you, but we have a scandal brewing. There was a young guardsman was found consorting with another young man in Green Park on a park bench, and it's going to be in the press tomorrow. And Churchill said, "What, in this weather?" And he said, "Yes, I'm afraid so, Prime Minister." He said, "By God, it makes you proud to be British."
What does that have to do with cats?
It's just Green Park and me crossing
Park.
Green Park at
Oh,
night.
I see. Yes.
Walking home from, I have to admit, usually from Le Caprice, where I would have a late
Oh, yes.
fish cakes and,
Yes.
and a glass of champagne on my way home.
We've had a lot of letters of condolence for Rabbit. I've said them
And
to you.
so we
It's
should have.
been so lovely, actually. It was really nice to get that sort of
She is
response.
she is much missed. I was thinking last night as we were sitting
To remind
outside
the
having a
listeners
lovely
who-
supper.
Remind the
other
listeners who
the other
Rabbit is.
two cats, your other two cats, were there around the table, and I thought, little Rabbit isn't here anymore.
Yes,
It was so sad.
I know. And Rabbit was
Pretty little
a
cat.
pretty little cat who we'd had for 16 years. And she was a calico cat. And I think calico cats are particularly nice. We had one many years ago called Marmalade. Well, her proper name was Sicily Marmalade Football. This was, because that's what the
Something
kids...
to do with the children,
Yes,
I fear.
yes. And yes, I think everyone
The
was
naming,
fighting about what her
yes,
name was going to be.
yes.
So we said, well, we'll call her all of them then.
Yeah.
And she was also the same, very personable and very chatty.
I think that's probably it for this week, and we have something rather sad to report. That is the end of
Season two.
Season 2. But we will be back, and we might give you the bonus episode of Willing Spirits in the meantime to keep you going.
I think we should, a special pod.
Yes.
Have
But
we told them what Willing Spirits is?
In the last pod, yes.
In the last pod, we described this.
The pilot for our sitcom that we all recorded, the radio sitcom. And
During lockdown.
During
it was our
lockdown,
lockdown project.
what he wrote.
Yeah. So I think that would be a good special thing to tide you over until we come back.
Yes.
Which we're planning to do to synchronise, I think, with our stage shows, which I hope you'll be able to come and see, some of you, if you live anywhere near Guildford or Shrewsbury or...
Manchester area, Salford.
Salford. Yeah.
But thank you for staying with us, and we've had fun. And thank you for all the letters that you send, because they do mean a lot to us, and we do endeavour to reply to them all. And they're a great pleasure.
Yes, and please carry on sending in the letters, even while we're not actually recording. It might give you a
Yes.
chance to catch up on some of the pods
Catch
that
up.
you've missed.
Do keep watching and do keep listening. And the pods are there whether we are or not.
Yes. So that's it.
So look out for season 3 in the autumn.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Bye.
So, if you have any questions,
Or answers.
Or stories. Or
Kim,
Guy.
or Richard,
contact us on
Pod at
Helga.
Gruber.
Flick.
.com. That's pod at helgagruberflick.com.